I don't think so. It looked like a 3.
Oh, okay. But but even then, even if it was that, it would have been like trashed, like
oh yeah,
just not
one tire doesn't
or
match. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely like a door panel, like from a junkyard or whatever. Yeah. What we know about these crows is that they are dead flat broke all the time. They are always looking for an angle, and they would have hustled every dime out of Wendy Crowe also, which would have never allowed her to get a BMW. So we get almost 10 minutes of opener before the theme song. We have Boyd and the gang, and then Kendall and Uncle Jack, and then we have Wendy and Kendall and Uncle Jack, and then we have Wendy and Michael at Audrey's before the opening credits, before the theme song. So almost 10 minutes of episode before the as the cold open this time. But then we focus on kind of the main story after the opening credits. So Raylan shows up at Allison's house. She's on suspension. He's on vacation. And he bought her a bathing suit and proposes that they go to Miami and visit his daughter, but she can hang out at the hotel pool while using his radio winnings, because he won $2,000 from radio contest by being caller number 7, as we found out at the end of the last episode, thanks to the skills that TC taught him with phone freaking.
The one-legged man.
The one-legged man. So Wendy, while Raylan is pitching this to Allison, who is somewhat skeptical, but eventually allows herself to be talked into it, Wendy is calling Raylan's phone over and over and over again while this is happening, because she wants Raylan to help her find Kendall, because she knows that this guy Michael is looking for Jack, and she thinks Kendall's in danger. And she tells Raylan her sob story. He tells her to call 911 over and over and over again. She then offers, hey, what if I tell you what my brothers are doing in Mexico? Will you come and help me then? And Raylan says, wait a minute. And he talks to Allison about it. When she hears that Kendall's in danger, she basically tells him, hey, you need to go and help that kid. Right. That's the vibe that I got from that scene. They share a look, and she gives him like an incredulous like gesture, but they don't ever have a conversation about it. Is that the kind of gist you got of it as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it could have gone either way, I suppose, but yeah, I'm leaning more towards that.
Yeah, I think she wanted him to go help Kendall. She didn't want him to go spend time with Wendy Crowe, obviously. Her of the alienating your affections from the prior episode, but it did feel like she wanted him to go help with Kendall, which makes what happens at the end of the episode even all the more weird, I think. But whatever.
Well, the at that moment, I think that's where the decision was that she made to break it off with him.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Yeah, she's saying the fact that you're even talking to me about this after you just pitched me and sold me on Miami means that we're breaking up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
And it makes sense because that's what Winona, that's what the woman, that's why. So but that's what makes them, the women, attracted to Raylan, because he is has this whatever goal or whatever he has in mind, he's going to go do it, and the women try to control him, but they can't.
It's the whole unavailable thing.
Yeah.
Because he's unavailable, but he's unavailable because he cares more about busting the crows than he does about any woman who would ever be in his life.
Yep.
Yeah. So, so he leaves there, finds Wendy, agrees to help her out. Meanwhile, Kendall and Uncle Jack are fleeing from Michael. Michael has spotted Uncle Jack's vehicle, which was not at all conspicuous. It's like, what was it? Like a Charger or something?
It was a Charger, a Chevelle or something.
Chevelle, that's what it was. It was a Chevelle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very conspicuous, and the Michael obviously spotted it and was keeping an eye on it. So they have to steal a new car. Jack tells Kendall that the reason that he's on the run is because he interrupted a rape that involved Michael's son and put the guy in a coma, saving the girl. And that's why Michael's after him, because it's his son that he put in a coma. And Kendall doesn't buy that, especially now that they're stealing a car, and asks him some pointed questions. So we've got a clip of that here.
All right, come here. Can you squeeze your fingers down in there? These things are a jiff to get started.
We're still in a car now?
That wasn't clear?
How much trouble are you in?
Well, he's a very angry man, and he knows my car.
You're lying.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You lie about everything, and you always have.
Name one lie.
You're my dad, and Wendy's my mom.
How long have you known?
Long time.
Wendy told you.
No, I figured it out, okay? Now cut this shit. What did you really do? Because I don't think you're some hero that stopped a rape.
I followed the workers. The money. North Dakota, Montana. I was running poker games. And I had an idea that I was going to buy in to this fracking operation.
Come on through.
Come on. I was going to buy into this fracking operation in Mexico. So I started skimming from my regular game. Heavy-duty player in particular. It was a good hustle till the guy found out. It's mostly his money in the back.
How much?
About 35.
Whoa.
Trouble is he wants it back, bad.
So you were trucking down to Mexico, gonna lay low and start your own thing. And you got my call and you came back for me?
That's exactly right.
Why didn't you tell me that from the start?
Because he's sprinting away because he spotted Michael. He sprints away, leaving Kendall alone to deal with the angry man who's out $35,000 of money that he skimmed. And that's if what he's saying is true, which we find out later is not.
Yeah,
he is just the worst. And yeah, Michael drives up. Jack runs away. Michael takes Kendall into his custody, and we then have a clip of when Wendy finds out that bad news, because Wendy and Raylan are on the way to try and find where Michael and Uncle Jack and Kendall are. And eventually Jack calls to let Wendy know that Michael has Kendall. But before that, we find out a little bit of history about Wendy's relationship with Uncle Jack, and that Kendall is her son, and she tells Raylan. And you can see Raylan is interested for the gossipy reasons, but ultimately tries to keep her on task. So let's listen to that clip.
This mess. You don't see how trouble follows your family?
The men, mostly.
What are they up to in Mexico?
Kendall's not my brother.
See, now that doesn't get me anywhere.
He's my son. Jack is his father. Just thought you should understand.
Good Lord, why?
I don't know. I was 22 when I met him. I was studying for my LSATs. He was a real hustler and an asshole piece of shit, but I found him intoxicating for some unknown reason, so I got pregnant, and of course the thought of being a dad scared him shitless. So.
As much as it might benefit you to unburden yourself, I'd like to get back to Daryl and what criminal activity he might be engaged in.
Not until you get Kendall back. It's Jack. Where are you?
Can we put aside the bad blood? Can we do that?
All right.
Because I need your help.
All right, I'm listening.
We got to be smart about this. We got to scare up one of your brothers. Daryl, Dilly, Danny, whoever. I messed up. Bad. Really, really bad. He's got Kendall.
So I think I don't know. I think part of the reason that this storyline struggles for me so much is because it doesn't feel like there is actually ever any stakes. Do you get that too? Does it feel like Kendall's actually in danger?
No.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
We haven't seen this guy be threatening other than, talking quietly and looking maybe scary.
Yeah. And it's and it doesn't really establish, like you had mentioned earlier, Uncle Jack is just somebody who was just introduced, didn't even make an appearance until this episode, but he was just introduced last episode.
Yeah.
When Kendall calls him.
Yeah. It really struggles from stakes, lack of stakes. It feels like there's just no stakes here. I mean, we know that that Kendall's not going to be in danger. We know that, I don't know, maybe we know we have the benefit of watching this in retrospect, but I don't remember the first time I watched this being like, oh my God, that Michael guy who we never heard of before this episode is definitely going to kill Kendall.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's more like, okay, here's a guy, he's looking for his money.
Yeah.
Which rightfully belongs to him. It's not, he was stolen. So I can't say I have any, I don't blame him. No,
I don't either. And yeah. And when we find out the real story, you even more kind of feel for the guy, right? Because what happens is there's a money Kendall swap that's going to happen in a Southern California Plaza parking lot. And when Raylan attempts to mediate the swap, so basically Jack's got like 20 grand left of the money he stole from the guy tells the story that it turns out Jack was robbing a guy, not skimming the game. He was robbing the game and put the guy in a coma. And that guy happens to be this person's, Michael's son, who he put in a coma. So he's there to get his money and get revenge for his son. He admits to some crimes. Jack admits to some crimes. Raylan loses his patience and places them both under arrest. And there's a little bit of a confrontation, a little bit of physical conflict, but ultimately both of them are arrested. When the cops are there cleaning up later, Wendy admits the obvious truth that everyone already knew to Kendall, which is that she's his mom. She admits that she also knew nothing about what her brothers are doing in Mexico, much to Raylan's chagrin. She was leading him on the whole time and doesn't know anything. I wonder, does she really not know, or does she? Is she lying to Raylan? I don't remember. I don't either. Actually, she was in the room when they talked about going to get Johnny. She was there for that. I know that. But I don't know if she was in the room when they made the decision to go to Mexico or not. So, but what do we know about Wendy? We know that she knows more about what her brothers are doing than she admits to. So I think it's conceivable, if not likely, that she knows what they're up to in Mexico or where they're at and is just choosing not to give Raylan that information. So even though she already now knows that Daryl killed Dilly,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's just as complicit as the rest of them. So
I did have just a quick thing on the Ava Crowder shotgun corollary, because I'm going to expand it to all the women in the Justified universe. Whenever they're wielding shotguns, have their hair down.
Okay. All right. So we'll hair down equals shotguns. Okay.
No. Well, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's shotguns in the hands of the females in the series.
Yeah.
Is hair down.
So so what we can assume in almost every scene is that if a woman has their hair up, they're not going to shoot anyone. That's correct. Okay. That's correct. Right. That's the operating theory. And I think it's been pretty good so far. Yeah. So far it's held. So we'll see. So
watch next episode.
Yeah. Next episode, somebody's going to have like a tight bun and yeah.
Okay. We might queue up that one bumper for the,
yeah, exactly.
Apologies.
So I was gonna do a quick law minute here for the LSATs comment that Wendy made, but I don't think it deserves the bumper. It's an interesting sort of authentic element that's almost entirely inauthentic at the same time, and I'll explain